Hey guys, Annika here with another episode review of Insecure, and today I'm reviewing Insecure episode 5, Low-Key Moving On. And before I get started, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you like what I do here. There's going to be content coming at least once a week, especially with these Insecure reviews. Every Monday I drop a Insecure review for each episode. So let's just jump right into it. I'm so sorry that this episode review is coming out a little later than usual. I started a temporary job to keep myself afloat during COVID-19 because I don't know about you guys, but I still have not received my unemployment. So it's getting a little dark out here in these streets and I need some money. Okay, so I'm still going to be releasing my reviews every Monday. They might just be a little later in the day. So just bear with me. But let's just jump right into this episode. Okay, so this is the episode of the block party. It's finally the block party. We're in January. Today is the day. And we open up with the scene that we see for the first episode where where Issa is talking to Nathan about how he and Molly low-key aren't cool anymore. So I kind of had an issue with that because, I don't know, I just feel like Molly and Issa have so much history that's kind of something you want to have set in stone before you start saying that out into the universe. Like, me and Molly aren't cool anymore, especially if you guys haven't even had a conversation yet. So I kind of wish he didn't say that to Nathan. But also, I'm happy that Nathan is back, I guess. So I'm gonna go down my list. I got my list with me. I'm gonna go down my notepad of all the things that I want to talk about before we get to the Molly and Issa confrontation, because I know you guys saw that, and like, there's a lot that was going on at this block party, but kudos to Issa for pulling it off. She did such a good job. She had Vince Staples there, who is not like some small time rapper. He's like a big deal. So she did such a good job. Okay. I kind of want to start with, honestly, Andrew and Molly. I felt like through this episode, Andrew kind of served as the audience. Like, whenever Molly would say something, Andrew kind of played devil's advocate. Like, when Molly's getting dressed up for the block party and she's like, I don't even really want to go to this thing. Why am I even going? And Andrew's like, okay, well, let's not go. And then she's like, no, we have to go. So he's like, all right, what's the issue? Like, Andrew was basically the audience throughout the entire episode. But it was nice to kind of see a different side of their relationship as well. We're so used to seeing Molly and Andrew kind of just like having sex. It was nice to just see them be like normal. So that was really good. And I do like these two together and I hope they make it. I really do. Let's move on to Condola. Like, okay, so in the last episode, Condola was not present and Lawrence was going to talk to Issa about something. So Condola spills the beans and tells Issa that her and Lawrence broke up. So Condola seems to be a little bothered by the fact that they broke up, which I'm actually kind of confused because we learned at the Thanksgiving episode that Lawrence is just a fuck buddy. So why are you upset that y'all not together no more? I don't know. I feel like they didn't know what to do with Condola's character after that Thanksgiving episode. So now she's just like there for the sake of being there. Like, I hope this is Condola's last episode because there's no reason for her to be in this show anymore. Like, it's done. Like, at this point, it's just a cameo. Like, there's no reason for her to be in this show. So we find out that Lawrence and Condola broke up. Condola reveals that she didn't think she was going to come to the block party, which I kind of think was unnecessarily like a thing. Like, Condola, why would you not come to the block party? Like, you helped Issa put on this big event. And it kind of goes to show you that, like, in the beginning of this season, we're seeing Issa take the higher ground on certain things. And then we see Condola not do that for her. Like, Issa chose Condola over her uncomfortability with Condola dating Lawrence. And when it came down to Condola choosing Issa, she was kind of like, oh, I didn't think I was going to come because of Lawrence. Like, I just felt like this is the same guy that's a fuck buddy, right? Like, why put that much effort and thought into a guy that you're just sleeping with? Maybe she really likes Lawrence. I don't know. But if she did, that wasn't really, they didn't really do a good job of portraying that, in my opinion. Like, we knew that Lawrence really liked Condola. I feel like we never really knew if Condola really liked Lawrence. So to see her at the block party being kind of distant to Issa, to me, I was kind of like, sis, I expected better from you. Like, do better. Like, I thought you weren't going to be messy, and then you turned out to be messy. And even though they end up getting Vince Staples for this block party, I still want to know where's Schoolboy Q, and why did he drop out of this block party? I'm fine with Vince Staples, don't get me wrong, but professionalism much? I don't know. I'm just over Condola. Like, I wanted more from her. I really did want her and Issa to potentially just be friends. And then it turns out she's just as, like, all over the place as anybody else. So I'm just over her. Okay, so Condola didn't really want to be there, but she showed up anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Was that weird to y'all? Because that really bothered me. Like, that bothered me the same way the whole Molly and Issa thing bothered me. It felt like something that could have been avoided. So let's move on. This was this episode wasn't quick, but it did feel longer, but it felt like it had like a lot of dead space. So this episode was very much about just showing what this event looks like. You really got to feel that this was a big production for Issa. They shut down an entire block. So when I was watching the episode, it felt like I was watching a lot of B-roll. Like, a lot of B-roll. Like, I would say the meat of the episode is probably only really 15 minutes, and the rest is just, like, showing you behind-the-scenes footage of the block party, which is cool. I liked seeing it, but it felt like a lot of filler. Although we did get to spend more time with, like, Kelly and Tiffany and Derek, and we learned that Kelly, I forgot, the rapper's name escapes me, but he's the guy that did that song, Bad Thing, Fine as Hell, Thick as Fuck, Oh My God, That's My Baby, Caroline, You're Divine. He did that song. That's him, and his name escapes me, but that is him. She's like talking to him, and she's faking a British accent. Like, I love Kelly. She's so fun. I love her so much. And we get to see Tiffany and Derek, who are also at the block party, and I guess they're babies with a sitter. And Tiffany's really just trying to have a good time, and she doesn't want to go back to pick up the baby. And I thought that it's like little details like that to kind of show that, like, motherhood can be exhausting. Like, I felt like Tiffany was just exhausted from, like, being around the baby, so she really needed this night out, and I really felt that. And it was cute. And Derek goes back, and he ends up going to, like, go pick up the baby. So the night carries on. They have like a little wobble, things like that. A really, really cute event. Something that was really funny to me was Issa goes to speak with the press, and it ends up being a YouTube reporter for her channel. I felt seen. I was just like, so this reporter is low-key a vibe, and this reporter is low-key me. But it's also kind of like a nod to Issa's like starter days. If for you who don't know, Issa started out on YouTube with the Awkward Black Girl series on YouTube, which I'm pretty sure you can still find on YouTube. It's really, really funny, really, really low budget. So she had quite the come up. Shout out to her. Something that was really cute. Let's talk about Nathan really quickly. So this is our first episode actually seeing Nathan. The last that we saw of Nathan was in season 3, when he goes and disappears and he comes back to Issa's apartment, and it's just all over the place. And this season, Nathan left Issa this like very weird voicemail, like, you don't gotta call me back, but you know, like, okay. And then he actually shows up, we get to see him. So I hope that we actually get to see more of Nathan in this season. I actually like Nathan. I think he's a good kind of like challenge for Lawrence. Nathan is a barber. I'm not sure if he does anything else, and he's from the South, and he's roommates with Andrew. So that has been confirmed that him and Andrew are still roommates, which begs the question on like how he hasn't come up in this series before this episode, but whatever, I'm gonna leave that to the writers. But hopefully we get to see more of him. We see that him and Issa still have a pretty decent rapport, but I would beg the question that I think Issa is kind of hung up on Lawrence, because she finds out in this episode that Condola and Lawrence broke up anyway, so her mind may be just lingering elsewhere. moving on. Speaking of Lawrence, why didn't Lawrence come? Did anyone else think that was a little like odd that Lawrence was not at the block party? Was he not there because Condola was going to be there? Like, why not? I don't know. Why not come? I just thought, like, I know they're not together, but I mean, Derek was there. Derek was there with Tiffany. I don't know. I just feel like I was kind of expecting Lawrence to be there, like, just out of like support for Issa. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I really thought that Lawrence would be there. Maybe they just wanted to give us space to see Nathan, because Nathan and Lawrence also don't really know about each other. Like, Condola, Issa knows that Condola is dated Lawrence and vice versa. Lawrence doesn't really know about any of Issa's other partners, so maybe they just wanted to give some room for them two not to meet yet. Okay, before we get to the finale of this episode, I wanted to talk about the crowd of the block party. It was so funny when Issa goes up there to like give her speech on how thankful she is, and they're like, bring out Vince Staples, and it's just like, okay, no one cares, but yes, bring out Vince Staples. And dun dun dun, we have made it to the finale of this episode. Molly and Issa finally confront each other, more like Molly confronts Issa. Molly finds out that her boyfriend Andrew did put Issa and Vince in conversation with each other. So Andrew did help Issa get a headliner for this event. And Molly finds out about this on the whim, and she goes to confront Issa. Mind you, we are still at the block party. The block party is ending, but it's still very much happening. Molly confronts Issa about this, saying that she's a backstabber, and that she's a liar, and that she always needs favors, and she needs people to save her, and she's a mess, blase blase. Before I go any further, I have been a huge supporter of Molly throughout this entire series, because I've been giving her the benefit of the doubt, and I wanted to cut her some slack. I must say, her behavior in this episode was inappropriate. Her choosing to confront Issa on the night of her event, was incredibly uncalled for, and it just could have waited. And it just shows Molly's like selfishness. I understand you are angry, but if you are still considering me a friend in this moment, have enough respect for me in this moment to confront me tomorrow or next week. You do not have to do this right now. That's my only issue with it. Molly's frustration with this was really, she felt that Issa went behind her back to contact her boyfriend, even after she told Issa that she wanted to keep those two things separate. Issa needed a headliner, and Issa even says that, like, you'd rather watch me fail than to actually help me. I don't think it was that Molly wanted Issa to fail. I do think she was just trying to create boundaries, but like I said in the episode review of last week, I would have still helped Issa and then talked to her afterwards, like, hey, you and I aren't even really on good terms right now. I didn't really feel comfortable doing that. Can we please like get back to square one on, you know, you and I? And that's really where the frustration is coming from with Molly. Molly feels like you and I aren't good, so that includes everybody that I associate myself with, and my boyfriend is off limits to you. If you and I aren't even on the same page, why would I ask my boyfriend to help you? Like I said, I still think Molly should have just been a bigger person and still asked Andrew to help, especially because Andrew says like, oh, it was just an email. Like, it's not, it sounds like Andrew didn't have to jump through like hoops to get Vince here. It was just a quick like, hey, come to this event, bring Vince. It doesn't seem like it was a big deal. So I do agree with Issa that Molly just kind of created this arbitrary rule. I really, like, this, once again, this could have been fucking avoided if they would have just talked to each other 2 episodes ago. Like, this whole thing could have been avoided had they had a conversation 2 episodes ago. Issa ends up saying that like Molly wants to be miserable and that she's a mess, and that really hurt my feelings because like I think the worst thing I would want any of my friends to say to me is that I'm miserable and that I want to be miserable. So I think they both said very like mean things to each other. But I do agree with Twitter and social media, Molly should have saved all that energy for another day. And once Andrew tells her that it wasn't a big deal, I personally wouldn't have said anything any fucking way. Because if Molly was simply saying she didn't want to put her boyfriend in the middle of this because she's trying to keep her boyfriend and her friendship separately, that's understandable. But then your boyfriend tells you it wasn't a big deal. So, like I said, Andrew really served as the audience throughout this entire episode. And I really hope these girls can bring it back together. Do you guys think they can? Is this the end of Molly and Issa? I'm not sure if you guys watched the sneak peek for next week, but it's the day after. Wait, yeah. The episode for this coming Sunday, which is also my birthday. It seems that it takes place the day after the event, and Issa's kind of just debriefing and doing some self-care stuff, and she hasn't reached out to Molly yet. I hope these ladies have a conversation. I do think there's still room for them to be friends in the future. And I'm sorry it had to end like this. And Molly she really didn't have to do this on the day of her event. That's all I have to say. All in all, this was a good episode. It's probably my second favorite so far. I still really like episode 3, Low-Key Thankful. So far is like the best episode of the entire season. This episode was really good as well. Let me know what you think about this episode in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.